What's going on, traders? Wouldn't you know it, Jerome Powell, not pow in the market, actually sparking the market, talking about inflation easing, talking about rate cuts. Wouldn't you know it, guys? The Bulls stay in control. All the Bears go to sleep out there. I know even I've been on that camp before, and even I know when it just seems like the just rally, the just consistent rally that we're getting right now, it can't be broken, and it will at some point. But the truth is, and I talked about this on live trading today, is we have to be very, very careful trying to call the turn when you have this much momentum leading the market. Let's get to the action. Let's take a look at what's going on. I'll let you guys know a little bit about my swing trade action. But of course, I think none other than this says it all, right? I mean, boom, baby. There it goes. The SPY flying high today, getting all the way up there towards a high of 470.76. So big push up there, guys. I didn't think that was happening. I mean, I remember when I left you guys on Friday, and it's just been bull party ever since, man. And whenever we're getting this sideways consolidation at the top, what do I mean by sideways consolidation? It's exactly what we had here, right? Where the stocks were pretty much going sideways for a little while in the overall market. The Qs were leading the rally, right? And even they went sideways for a little bit. But when we go sideways after a big ramp up and we stay up at those levels and don't just immediately retrace, that should be telling that this could stay up here, consolidate, find some new buyers, and then get going. This seems like exactly what we're seeing in the market today, and the rally continues. Of course, what did Jerome Powell said? I mentioned it right off the hop. Multiple cuts, inflation easy. And we can take a look into that conversation. Of course, that's looking into the CME Fed Watch tool, right? You guys see it. I have it ready right here. I always take a look at this, and I think it's important to kind of watch, right? What is going on with the outlook, right? Where will we see the cuts come and when will that happen? Probabilities, right? Looking into that. When does the ease happen, right? Looks like right now they have an ease right there, even in the January meeting that could be happening. Of course, the higher percentages get closer towards that June meeting, June 1st. So, and May 1st, June 12th. So just keep your eyes on this action, right? That's what I'm going to be watching. If this goes into the 90%, that's something definitely to watch. And of course, where you guys can grab this is right on the CME's website. Here you guys go. Here's the link, because I'm always willing to give you guys the resource always. So smash the like. It's good to see you out there, Wisdom, Johan, Mystery, all everybody out there joining me today, especially Born. It's definitely good to see you. It's getting ready to do something. You guys see I dressed up and everything for my show. Gotta look good, right? I mean, the market is like just straight money time. It's on the watch game right now. At least that's what it seems like. And when the market is flashy things are gonna ride. But let's get to the action. Let's take a look at what happened underneath, right? What led this rally, of course. You guys see it here. Real estate getting a big jump when that got the spike. And some of these stocks I was actually in at dirt cheap. Open being one of those guys that I've been trying to ride for a little while. And why did I want this one is because I was talking about Zillow. Zillow had already taken off, so I thought Open could get the move. When I'm seeing home builders really push, and that's one thing that I could clearly see as of late, and I thought that could really get things going here. Look at Real Max even getting a nice little push here. OfferPad getting a little bit of a push here. So I think this is definitely something that we want to keep our eyes open for. American Tower has been hot as of late. PLD has been really hot coming back, an industrial REIT. Just so much belief in these REITs really getting going. That just goes to show me the exuberance that's in this market. I'll catch up with you guys in the chat. Let me know what was your top mover of the day. And if you guys have any swing trade you guys have on, let me know. I'm going to let you guys know about 2 trades that I opened today. So let's get to the action. Let's talk a little bit more about what's going on here. Real estate, of course, office are actually leading. This is truly impressive because this is the area that I think next year can have a disaster, a crisis. We'll see what happens, right? Like always, someone's going to be right, someone's going to be wrong, team. The key is, can you make the financial decisions to stay in the green? That's what it's all about. Let's keep going. Let's take a look at utilities. Utilities continuing to climb. And why are utilities climbing, guys? Well, of course, rates have stopped climbing. For a little while there was the potential thought that we could raise interest rates going into this meeting today, but we didn't, right? We held steady. We made all the great mentions, and we didn't get a hawkish Jerome Powell. We got a dovish Jerome Powell. How important is that for the Bulls? It was like pouring gasoline on an already fire that's just burning and burning. This is that bonfire that is dangerous because it can catch fire to the whole forest. And next thing you know, all stocks are ripping higher. Bitcoin ripping higher on this. This is exuberance. And exuberance can actually run the market for a while, especially when there's no negativity coming into the market. Where's the negativity? If for some reason CPI would have came in super hot, that would have ruined the party. But the truth is, everybody's at the party. Jerome Powell's even at the party, guys. Soft landing narrative is definitely getting a pat on the back right now. The only question is what happens next? So that's what we need to be asking ourselves. We'll talk about that right here. And especially towards the end of the show, I'll let you guys know how I feel the market can keep going. Smash that like. Let's keep it going. Let's take a look. Utilities are climbing, of course, with those interest rates starting to come down. These are interest rate sensitive. When you have those high interest rates, it definitely affected. Now they're starting to turn to the downside here. They recently turned to the downside here, and early October kind of turned up. And then as of late, you can take a look at Duke. You can take a look at Excel. They're just really hot, guys. And I think that this is something that we need to keep watch. And even like, let's say Hawaiian Electric, this play might actually make sense, right? I know that a lot of people were thinking this was going to, disappear, but this could actually start working its way back. And Nextera Energy, which is down big on the year, this actually looks pretty good to start working its way back. And what is this? This is kind of that shift, right? So one of the things that we need to be thinking about, and I'm going to be talking about it on my Outlook video, so stay tuned for that, guys. I got a lot of experts that I've been doing interview with, and a lot of what we need to kind of be worrying about is, will the least performing sectors of this year actually be the top performing sectors of next year? And will the top performing move back down? That's one thing to think about, because going into 23, technology was one of the worst performing sectors, and it worked its way back to the upside, right? Utilities were one of the worst in kind of 23. Will they kind of be the best in 24? All questions to be had. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what's going on. Basic materials pushing higher. Silver with a big push there, man. AG with a nice day, 11%, 5% higher. Agricultural inputs in play there, not doing too bad there when you're looking at that. You got CTVA, NTR starting to get a little bit of a lift, but the leaders, MOS, CF, these are the ones that I really kind of focus on in the space. You got CTVA and NTR that have more cap, but these like to move. And one that I really like is Mosaic. So let's see if this can really start making a nice little bottoming on the weekly. And I can see that already right around the 35s, right? So let's see if we can really start pushing, getting this up through 38. If this can start pushing through 38, I'm going to take a shot off this kind of 36, 35 area to get back up there towards the 43s. These aren't bad stocks to keep an eye out, and they have a tendency of starting to make a lift when no one expects it. Mosaic, I'm going to definitely keep an eye on this one. All right, let's keep going. Wisdom, how's it doing over there? Swing on you did the C4 trade, my best trade of the year. Way to end the month. Hey, you can't go wrong, man. You really can't, man. This I saw that one. That was an absolute monster rip on C4 Therapeutics. And did it continue on the day? Oh my God, it did. It did. This is one of those that you look back and you're like, man, if I would have just rode the trend, but really good trade there. I hope you guys were able to nail some trades like this. Biotech was hot today, guys. VRTX, 8% move higher. Look at this chart. It is like an absolute, and I'm sorry to mind my language here, but it's what someone in the industry one time referred to me as a boner candle. This is a boner candle. Sorry, guys. I just have to refer to it as that. That is a freaking monster rip for a $300 stock, up 8% from the open, 13% overall for the day. Really big lift up there to 404s, continuing to go higher. This helped, I think, sparked a lot of the run that we saw. Moderna come back. We saw a lot of this come back. BNTX, a lot of this run by that VRTX move, and you started seeing buying all over in these biotechs. And there's so many names. That's why I'm running through them. And you see a lot of these names really get a nice little move. Biotech and diagnostics and research stocks. What are some of those diagnostics and research stocks that I would keep watch? Well, the first two, of course, TMO, DHR, easy ones to kind of keep an eye on for, right? And this Danaher, oh, look at the weekly on this, guys. The weekly is pretty. So, we can draw this line right here, and you can see how this really starts to kind of get a nice little lift. And what do you want to see at the bottom? I talk about this all the time. I want to see a nice accumulation of volume that was in the trade as we started to see it turn around. There you see it. Now we need to start getting it through this kind of resistance up to 245 and really showing that 250 kind of move. Let's see what this can really start getting a move. I like the 215 that it just held. So pullbacks closer towards 222s. Yeah, I'm all for this chart right now. It looks really good. It had a really good day. So I will look for a cut down back below that trend line, maybe 223s, 222s. I'll set the alert there at 223s to let you guys know about it on live trading. Let's keep going. Let's take a look what other ones are making moves. Thermo Fisher with a nice little move. Let's go to the ARKK because I know this one has multiple of these names. Beam is one of them that I've been keeping an eye on, but that's in the technology, right? Biotechs. Let's take a look. Diagnostics and research. Twist. The Kathy names, man. I'm honestly starting to think that Kathy could have a really good 24 if we stay with this hot story. That's where it's going to get hard, right? Because the soft landing narrative is going to hold up until there's a crack. Well, right now, these types of stocks are really starting to make a move. So I would keep a watch on these. Even the cheaper one that she has, looks like she has a 50-cent name here, NVTA. I can't believe she has it, but RXRX getting a little bit of a lift. This is one that's in the Kathy book. Keep your eyes open for this RXRX. It was a retail favorite when it was spiking. Now it's continuing, and look at the spike that thing had. What a big rip there. Good job on that one, Wisdom. Way to nail that one down. That was a hell of a trade there that you got on 4C. All right, let's keep going. Let's get into basic materials. The third leading sector right here. We talked about some of these areas. One area that I'm definitely keeping a watch on, can coal continue to lift? Because oil would probably rise with that. So I'm going to keep watch. Energy is up. It did get a little bit of a spike today. Where did the XLE go to? Got to 82.30. So we're definitely back above those 82s. We did crack. We went down already to that 81. So there's no reason why we can't come back. Be careful for a move back to 85 on oil names. I'm going to expand this because I think that eventually we could come back towards even 87 on some oil names and then come back down. Oil's going to have a tendency of being a little bit trappy on both sides. I've seen it plenty of times where oil starts to come down, gets a little bit of a spike, then continues to move. So kind of like what we did here, right? So we came down, we got a little bit of a spike, then we continued down, right? Then we came continuing down. Then we got a little bit of a spike, then continued down. Same thing, same repeat pattern is what I'll be looking for. One thing though, you do see all the moving averages are now above the XLE. That tells me more and more that it can be bearish. I want to see an attempt back to the exponential 200, which is at 84.92. and I can go short at 85 off 86 all day. So we'll see what happens there when it comes back up to this level. I could go long on some of these names, but it's not really within me to go for the short move. If I did, I would probably lean on this kind of Valero turnaround because I was waiting for this one to break down and it never wanted to break down. So that tells me that you might have some bigger names that are hiding in this that want to start driving this right back up. Keep your eyes open. And that's in energy, of course. We talked about healthcare. We talked about, let's go to financial services. Those names are continuing. And Upstart was one of those names that I gave you guys just 2 weeks ago when we started to see a firm go higher, that this is definitely one of those names that could get a nice push. SoFi was also one of those names. I said, watch out for SoFi because the truth is, I'm thinking that now that financials can start to drive higher, this could also make a move. And the other one that I talked about, and it was right here on Start Swing Trade, was SLM. And I talked about how this one actually makes more sense for that student loan situation that everybody keeps talking about. SLM, look at the daily chart on this thing. We've been talking about this. I drew this, created it on November 7th. So what is this now? A month ago. And where was it on November 7th? Well, it was only right here, team. It was only right here. So that's when that line was created. We came right through it, held sideways, pushed right above. Got to know where the good stuff is, man. And right now, there's more, right? I mean, those are just the two top movers. And those are two top movers that I kind of mentioned, right? And I also mentioned that you're going to start seeing some support for even the regional banks. I won't go in there because I think that eventually this comes crumbling, but this is going to continue to push strong. And yeah, it could come crumbling down later in the year if we really run into some issues. But right now is also not the time to be shorting things, even if you feel like they can get destroyed next year. Because the truth is that the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent, right? And what does that mean, right? That the market can stay in this irrational theme, this breakout city, longer than you can stay short. That's the biggest thing that happened in the Big Short, right? If we think about what happened in the Big Short, it was all a situation where they came knocking on the door because they were like, hey guys, you know, you're short on this position, but you're down a shit ton. How are you going to get back there? Well, Burry was able to hold on, but everyone came knocking on the door telling him to get out, get out, get out, because it's shorting moments like this when it's a rocket. That's when everybody comes knocking on your door. Yeah, if it rockets back down and, you know, crashes, everyone looks like a hero. But you got to be careful being that trader that's trying to play the hero move. It's easy way to get wrecked. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look. Only thing I was short for life is Disney. What do you guys got out there? Disney is getting bullish, says Pharaoh. Let's take a look at Disney. Even though, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Hey, the truth is the market's hot right now. Nice little hold of the gap. I remember when I was looking for this gap to fill, and that was the gap play. Now you filled that gap. Now you got to be careful. I think at this point, you know, this could get some love and start ripping higher. Netflix is always one that I look at. If this is doing good, you know what usually happens when I usually see Netflix doing well, I look to Disney, and I think that investors are going to think that, you know, subscribers are going to do well just because Netflix is doing well. Disney is doing well right here. I know that I heard from Dennis Dick that the parks were kind of empty, but the truth is that doesn't matter. In this environment, it can lift all tides. Look how it's holding this 200-day. And this is an exponential average, that purple line. If it breaks that line, I say we watch out. But for right now, House of Mouse is looking good. Let's go to Tesla. Tesla, the Tesla Dragon. All right, guys. Well, this is that 239s, 240 run today, trying to make a breakout. This is the one stock that I can tell you guys right now that I think is going to have a real struggle next year, but I'm also not going to get in front of it while the overall market environment is the way it is. If we start to go to that slowdown look and we start to see the consumer slowdown, yes, I'm going to quickly turn super bearish on Tesla. But in the short term right now, I don't want to get in front of this dragon. This is a hard dragon to tame. And right now, it's looking like it wants to make a move. I did see mentions out there, of course, the cheaper model starting to drive some of the conversation that could push Tesla's next run. And with that being mentioned, as long as the Qs don't make a huge crack or technology starts to really tumble, I'm not getting in the way of Tesla. So watch for the next move. Next move would be a resistance try. So we just tried to cut support. Let's see if we make a run for resistance and try to push up there towards 245 and 246. All right, let's keep going. We'll go to the other action in the market, and you guys can run the story here. We got about 6 minutes left here. So drop some tickers in the chat. I'm going to take some stocks from you guys. Let's talk about my 2 swing trades today. You guys stuck around. Now you get the reward. Hit the like button. Let's take a look. So Walmart is one that I took a shot on today. And why? It's a lot on this pattern. It had nothing to do with this big bar because I took it early in the day. I took it during live trading. So I took this around, let's say 10:30. I can take a look exactly, but that bar wasn't there. All I could see was this turnaround. And this stock has been beaten down. I saw DG having a good day. I saw Dollar Tree continuing to the upside, which looks like kind of a cup and handle, if you don't say so myself. I mean, look at the cup and then the handle. I mean, that's kind of pretty here. We'll see what happens on that Dollar Tree if it can really get moving here. But Costco's been staying strong, right? Target's starting to turn things around. Why Walmart? Why Walmart can't turn things around here? I said, you know what? I'm going after Walmart. Let's do it. So I grabbed a little bit of Walmart there, doing really well in this trade. Got this all the way back down closer towards 151.40s. I'm somewhere in that 40s because I did add a little bit more as it started to go up. But this is looking great now, up there to 153. So I'm about like $2 or $3 away. This is one of those swings where I'll just let it work. And you guys will see this swing tomorrow on live trading. I'll probably still have this one, and I'm holding on to it as long as the momentum can continue to push. The next one that I took, of course, is Eli Lilly, as I saw healthcare leading the day right off the start. And this is a lot of what I do in my trading team. I take a look at what is leading the day. Okay, really quickly. Okay, healthcare is leading the day. Healthcare actually started the day in the red, and then all of a sudden started becoming the leader. So that showed me momentum, showing you quick pullback out the gates and then quick pull to the upside with momentum push. And a lot of that came from also catching that VRTX move right out the gates. That told me, hey, biotechs could get hot here. The whole industry could get hot here. Let's take a look at some of these names. And then Lilly came down for one of my favorite trades that there is, which is the VWAP bounce type of trade. When you get a stock to break out like you see it here on the charts, it's breaking out. And then once I get to about here, I'm like, okay, I need to go back to this orange line right here. And once I get that mentality, it's called the VWAP bounce for a reason. It's going to bounce off of those levels. And that's what I'm looking to do. So the stock retraces, it gets right underneath that level, starts giving you that ability to get in there, and then just takes right back off. That is the VWAP bounce. So a lot of times what I would do in my situation is sell majority of this first move to take some profits, right? Pay ourselves because that's still a nice trade to the upside. And then a lot of times I'll leave a runner. In this case, I wasn't able to get 2 fills here. So I just left the swing trade on and I haven't taken any profits here. But this looks great and prime for a breakout now on the daily. And this is what really got my attention is I saw this trend line and I drew this mentally because I didn't even have the time. So now if we can start staying above this trend line, really close, let's say above 600 in the next 2 or 3 days, oh, we're looking solid in this to maybe make an attempt back to 620s and 630. Who knows where Eli Lilly could be then, right? Well, sometimes I like to tell you guys that, I make the biggest trades. This one's a smaller one. And yet, as long as it can get up there, 20, 30 points, you'd be surprised what you can make with a small share size. All right, time to catch up with you guys in the chat. It's ticker time, of course. Smash that like. Let's see what tickers were throwing up in the chat. I'm going to run through it. Amazon, so close to breaking out. Oh, I think it's already there, man. I think it's on that breakout move. You got the sideways consolidation, which remember, we talked about it with the market. Sideways consolidation, but not quick retracement. That looks great for me. That's good price action. I think this is setting up for a real move in Amazon. And I'm always going to look back at Amazon and be looking at like this 100 underneath cut. I remember when I said it, Amazon underneath 100, we should be buying. That gave us an opportunity to get literally 2018 prices in 23 for a big company like Amazon. And we always need to be thinking about investments also. Don't forget about that. As a trader, don't mix your investing with your trading and think about long-term opportunities like we had in Amazon. All right, let's get to do it for Amazon. Let me maybe get one or two more here and I will get out of here. VKTX. That's a good one to definitely take a look at. Viking Therapeutics has been a hot stock as of late. You guys can see I drew a recent line there at 15. Let's take a look at the hourly. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. I like kind of the 4-hour chart. It separates the day really easily. So now one thing that I can see on this kind of rode a trend line and did kind of an ABC reversal, right? So it kind of did this. Then you got that A, B, C, and then all of a sudden, boom, it started to climb here. Now it wants to make this run to 20. So now I'd be watching to see if we can get this run to 20. You can see it's already been climbing towards that level. Next stop from here is pullbacks. Do pullbacks start to hold? So I would like to see pullbacks hold, let's say, slightly above 19 now, especially if it does go through 19. It should be a quick move, and we can really start getting going here. The weekly has the next level up there towards like 22, but biotechs have been hot as of late. You just need some good news to continue, and then you can really kind of get this going. If it cuts ever this back down through 15, that's where I'd be a little bit careful because that's a huge retracement there. But it has the momentum. Let's see if it can stay hot. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I know you guys had a lot of stocks, and we can continue going through plenty of other stocks, but it's time to get you guys over to the next show, of course. And what's coming up next? You got the Trade to Black podcast coming up. Of course, this is the collab. And if you guys haven't seen this before, definitely take a look into what goes on with the Trade to Black podcast. They cover cannabis, psychedelics, they cover Web3, and they cover some stock market action. Catch them coming up next, guys. Smash the like always. That's coming on in just a couple of minutes. You don't got to go anywhere to find this. I will redirect you right to the Dales Report team. And trust me, there's some guys on there that know their stuff. Find out what's going on in cannabis. And I know that some of you guys were talking about CGC. What happened there? Well, I'll tell you what. Find out. That's coming up next. And I will see you guys bright and early on PreMarket Prep. Let's see what happens with this market. Jerome Powell, of course, coming in today saying that there could be cuts, multiple cuts in 24. Also saying that he's seeing inflation easing out there was a big sign for the market to spark the rally. And some people are thinking, but we've already rallied. Well, like I said, the exuberance is good. And when the good is great, man, the market could just keep running. The number one thing that you want to do is understand that the trend is your friend here, but it also is not going to be your friend when it breaks. So it's very hard to open new positions here. And if you are, make sure that you're not being caught at the top of the charts. I will see you guys bright and early in the morning. Like always, guys, all of this is for educational advice, not for financial advice. I will see you guys over at the Dales Report. That's coming up next. And like always, just get after it, team. Swing trade. See what you can do. I know that's the best way for me. I'm going to see what happens with Walmart. Lilly, I'm holding both overnight. Let's see if we can keep this party and rally going. I'll see you next time, bright and early.